Into this video, we are going to talk orgasms, the different types of orgasms. When you think about the word orgasms, maybe you're like, well, there is one thing, it's an orgasm. But, well, there is a little bit more, and we're going to dive into different types to see if you've experienced all of the flavors that are possible to experience when it comes to orgasms. I am Celine Hemi, the Intimacy Angel, and I am here to help you bring your sexy back in life. Now, if you love orgasms, give this video a like, a share, and make sure you subscribe to my channel. So, I know orgasms can just be like one thing, one way, but there are different categories, there are different ways to experience pleasure. And if you break it down, you can start to see how much more is possible to do with your body. So number one, when it comes to orgasm, and if you're a woman, you're thinking clitoral orgasm, because that's kind of the go-to, the easy one, the one that most women know how to use. And it's this fiery explosion that feels so wonderful. It's a bit of a short-lived orgasm, sensation of pleasure that bursts through your body, and then there's this release, and that's just how usually it's experienced. The second type of orgasm would be a vaginal orgasm. Now, vaginal orgasm can be divided into different subcategories, because inside of the vagina, you have different areas that can feel pleasure, sensations, and can create different types of orgasm. So inside of the vagina, you have the G-spot, which most people are very familiar with, where you can think about that G-spot orgasm that is a little bit deeper than the clitoral orgasm in the experience, because it's internal. You could have an A-spot, which is anterior spot, so it's a little bit deeper than the G-spot. Some women really enjoy it. And you could have a cervical orgasm, which is all the way deep inside of the vagina at the entrance of the cervix, because hence the name cervical orgasm. A cervical orgasm is not as typical because it takes a little bit more time understanding about the body, and you need to really trust your partner. The cervix, in the Taoist perspective, is the point for the heart. So it requires you to fully be able to be in your heart, feel safe, trust your partner to get there. But when you have a cervical orgasm, it is a totally different beast than any of the other orgasms. Sometimes it can be totally shuddering. Sometimes it just doesn't give you that same sensations and this fiery explosion, but it's like this earth moving through you, and you can have deep release that is associated with that. Now, it doesn't really matter, right? What kind of orgasm? We don't need to be like absolutely so focused on what it is, but it's good to know that there's different types that you can achieve through that vaginal stimulation. So that's another option here. Another orgasm that you can experience is a nipple orgasm. And this can happen for both men and women, because we all have different nerves, pleasure pathways that goes to our nipples. And if we've awakened them, then it can feel utterly pleasurable. It's not everybody's cup of tea, but many really enjoy it. Another orgasm that is possible is a prostate orgasm. A prostate orgasm is just for the man, because they have a prostate, and it's called the male G-spot because it's similar to our experience of a G-spot orgasm, but it is really something that many men can learn to enjoy and experience, because you reach the prostate through the anus. Some men feel a little bit shy or uncomfortable about that stimulation, but once you get past the mental block of it, it can be absolutely fantastic and super duper pleasurable, especially when you combine it with penis stimulation and prostate stimulation. Another type of orgasm is anal orgasm. And, some people, just even stimulating around the anus can be so pleasurable because we have so many nerve endings right there around the anus. And you don't always need a super deep penetration in order to have anal orgasms. Now let's talk about another option to feel orgasm. So we kind of looked at both orgasms that can happen from a man and woman's body with the body parts that we have, right? Something else that is possible is to have a blended orgasm. So what is a blended orgasm? A blended orgasm is a combination of two or more of the different orgasms I just mentioned. So maybe, again, as a man, there could be the regular orgasm that they would experience through the stimulation of their penis, right? And with stimulation of the prostate, there's a prostate combo with penis orgasm. For women, it could be a G-spot orgasm with a nipple orgasm. So blended just means a couple orgasms from different body parts. Another way to experience your orgasms is to have multiple orgasms. Now we're talking. So rather than sticking to one, being like, hey, I'm done, I had what I needed, you can have more than one and keep going. Now, multiple orgasms are possible for both men and women. In order to have multiple orgasms as a man, you need to be able to separate your ejaculation and orgasm. But that's the topic for another video. We've got several videos on that subject. And for women, it simply means that, hey, if you came once, you can keep going. It doesn't mean you have to stop, and you can experience it over and over. It's not always the same area of the body that gives you the same orgasms, but it just means you can have more than one. And I challenge you to just go for as many as you can. And last but not least, when it comes to orgasms, you can have full body orgasms. So we're no longer focusing just on one genital part, right? Or just one area of the body. We are starting to include the entire body. And then when you experience that, the sensations are much more diffuse because it's not focused solely on this one spot or area that you usually feel pleasure from, but it includes the entire body, and it feels like your whole body is vibrating with this sensation of pleasure. So as you can see, when it comes to orgasms, there are many flavors, many ways to experience orgasms. Really, an orgasm is an orgasm, and it's great to have one, no matter what it is. But it's fun to know that there's probably more to experience than what you're used to. And if you do so, then you can take your pleasure to the whole new level. So let me know in the comments below which orgasms you've experienced, and then maybe which one you would like to experience because you have not yet done. And I hope today's video was helpful. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.